Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. In today's lecture, we talk about the renewable energy technologies. Uh, the slides has been adopted from Community of Clean Energy Aggregation. Uh, what are the learning objectives of this course content? Is that demonstrate knowledge and understanding of the following renewable energy technologies and or materials and identify their component parts. Analyze and evaluate the advantages and disadvantages of these technologies and or material used as alternatives to fossil fuels. And in all this, selections are based on the cost, performance, and the reliability. So in if you go to sustainable energy, alternate energy, that means you want to be sustainable. So what is sustainable? uh, a scientist Brundtland defined as the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. This was in 1987. Since the Industrial Revolution, we have been dependent on fossil fuels such as oil, coal, and gas to generate energy. Fossil fuels are non renewable and therefore one day will run out. In addition, greenhouse gases are produced where burning these fossil fuels. Therefore, relying solely on fossil fuel is, is unsustainable. One way to reduce our dependency on fossil fuels to produce energy and reduce greenhouse gas emissions is to use renewable energy resources. Renewable energy sources are sources of power that quickly replenish themselves and can be used again and again. What are the sources? Wind, solar, power from the sun, biomass, organic matter used as fuel, hydro, energy from moving water, wave and tidal system, energy from the wave and tidal movements. Research and produce a list are, if I look at the assignment one for you, I would ask you that you have to do research on these wind, solar, and biomass analysis. This is the formal assignment of this lecture. And then I will also upload it on the website, and then we'll have a time to note it. But however, for the time being, I'll be just introducing these things to you. So, wind's energy is produced by wind turbine. Solar, there are different uh, examples are the solar water heater, solar photovoltaic cells, air source heat pump, ground source heat pump. Then the biomass example is a wood chip boiler, wood pellet boiler, anaerobic digester. So these are the thing. But uh, in Karachi, we'll be adopting this biomass as an alternative to fuel as well. This will, I will discuss in last two to three slides what's going on and how technology is being used here. By the way, we also know we nowadays most of the people are using those solar panels. We also have wind turbines. If you go towards interior Sindh, towards Thatta, you will see a lot of companies have their own wind turbines. in the interior of Punjab and Sindh, and even Pakistan Railways has adopted solar panel energy for their communication system. So all those things are not new to us. We are using in daily basis. Even I've seen a person who has, who was selling something, and he has a small solar panel from which he was driving his electricity and charging his phone. So these technologies no mean something strange for us. So wind energy describes the process where electricity is generated by wind turbines. The basic concept is that these turbine converts the kinetic energy in the wind into a mechanical power. There are two main types of wind turbine, which are distinguished by the axis in which the rotor of the turbine rotates. There is a vertical axis wind turbines and there is an horizontal axis wind turbines. The wind turbines blades which are connected to the rotor are turned by the wind and drive the main shaft which spins the generator to generate electricity. So how it activates, research shows how the blade, rotor and a component situated within the nacelle box to convert kinetic energy into the wind energy. This is the nacelles and this is the wind turbine. So this is another activity you have to do in your assignment. How you will show this energy works. You have to create some animation. You have to come up with some ideas. Now this is we are you are OBE system. Uh, we want to explore students' mind by giving them complex engineering problems. So this is one of the complex engineering problem you have to understand and you have to come up with the idea. You have to visit some place. Uh, uh, Give us an example how those energy produce, how much um, mega power of energy is produced, how it is distributed. So this is also the part of this assignment. So actually this presentation today is also contains some assignment for you to do and come up with the engineering background of those technologies. Then there is a solar energy radiated from the sun, can be two types, solar photovoltaic cell panels produce electricity and solar water heaters. The first one is very common in nowadays all over Pakistan. The photovoltaic panels generate electricity when the sunlight heats the PV panel. The light excites the photons in the cell, causing them to move, generating electricity. The electricity flows to an inverter, which converts current from DC to AC, so it can be used in our buildings. The main components which make up a solar PV system are PV panels, inverter, and meter to measure the amount of energy produced by the system. These are the solar. This is known to you, and if you are visiting any university uh, of late, you can see those panels on the civil engineering department as well. And this is the inverter. This is you know the heater. It's very common. This electric heater in most of our houses, but this is heater. Different is that it is using a solar panel. So if we talk about how the solar water heaters work, it can be captured by solar water heaters to heat water. Two main types, evacuated tube and the flat plate. The heat energy is transferred from external panel of fluid to an insulated hot water storage cylinders where water is heated and storage for use within the building. They are of two types, evacuated tube and the flat pellet solar heater stored obviously on the rooftop of the houses. And this is not from Pakistan, you can understand. So, how it works, what are the components? This is, this is a solar collector panel. It is a pump in which the water from this tank is pumped to this pipe in the solar collector, and then it's got heated and transfers back to this this pipe again. And what happens is that this all this water, heat water, it will rise up and it will enter this boiler. It will start boiling this thing, and then there is a tap to collect the water. So this is how water from the heater, the energy, this water goes to here and it is being heated. And it's just like, this is a geyser uh, attached to home where you have a cold line and a hot line. From cold line, the water is fed from the cold line, and then it gets heated, and the boiler is, boiler gets water from this solar panel, and is this is your tap. So this is a hot water cylinder pipe from collector to storage tanks. We continue with the solar energy. This energy, ground and water is heated by the sun, can be captured by ground source and air source heat pumps. Heat pumps takes the heat from air outside a building to the ground and increase the heat to higher and more useful temperature for use in our buildings. The energy that heat pump produce is classified as renewable because the air groundwater is heated by the sun. So this is a description of heat pumps, a ground source or air source. Use the component to take heat energy from either the ground or air and increases the heat to higher and more useful temperature for use in the home to provide space heating or hot water. So there is a heat exchanger, the compressor, condenser, and the expansion valve are the component of the heat pumps. This is the flow diagram. There is an indoor heating system and the outdoor heating system. You see, what happens is that from the sun, the panels, energy from the sun stored underground is captured from the boreholes with a ground load system containing water and antifreeze which is pumped around the system. Then this working fluid system, this is a rapid expansion of cool liquid into gas in the expansion vessel, causing the system to cool further. It has three components. The condenser condenses the gas to liquid with the release of heat to the heating circuit. The compressor, this one is the compressor. It uses electricity to compress the warm refrigerant gas to high temperature. And the evaporator, that's heat exchanger, indirectly absorbs the heat energy from the outdoor to into the refrigerant gas in heat pump circuit. And then there is an indoor heating system. Heat energy is pumped around the indoor heating system, for example, underfloor heating, low grade radiators, or and hot water. So this is the source, this is the working and the distribution. So there is a flow from left from your right side to the left side, and the cold side return, and this is how this energy system works. Then there is a biomass. It is a fuels comes in many different forms, such as solids from wood chips or wood pellets, as liquid as a biodiesel, and gases such as a biogas. Biomass, which is material from living things, can be considered a renewable energy source if plants are replanted. Wood chips are the most popular biomass fuels used to provide energy to our buildings. Now, these wood chips produced by shredding of trees such as willow into chips ranging in size of 10 to 28 millimeter. As you can see, it has higher moisture content, requires drying either by storage in a dry area or by using heat produced by biomass boilers in large stores to reduce moisture content to less than 25%. The required time and energy for drying can add to the preparation cost of the wood chip. Wood chips are best suited to burning in larger scale boilers, for example, those at hospital, leisure centers, and district heat plants. Now, this comparing wood chips and wood pellets, wood pellets are produced by mechanically compacted sawdust. Sawdust is extruded through a stainless steel former, and the heat produced by the friction causes the lignin in the timber to melt and fuse the sawdust together. Moisture content is approximately 10%. Advantage of being a standard size of 6 or 8 millimeter in dia and 5 to 30 long. Higher energy density than wood chips. The regular size allows boiler manufacturers to produce automated system for feeding the pellets into small scale boilers for domestic use. Now, the biomass chips or pellets are burnt in a boiler to create heat energy. The heat is then used to heat water for use within the building or for space heating. Water is heated by the boiler and then pumped around the building via radiators or underfloor pipes to heat the space. Thermostats within each room are used to turn on and off the radiators or underfloor heating to ensure that the building is heated to the desired temperature. So, what are the benefits? Infinite resources, free energy, environmentally good, environment energy generated, provide security of the supply, and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. So let's summarize this. Heat pumps, the ground source and air source, it has got higher installation and capital cost compared to non-renewable systems such as oil or gas boiler or geyser even. It has a low maintenance cost. Reliability is still questionable. The inverter turbine, it must be placed in a suitable locations. Work when speed meets the turbine cut in speed. Solar photovoltaic cell, free energy from the sun, 20-year lifespan, required very little maintenance, and again, uh, most of the time, since we are very new to this in Pakistan, there are success stories, but it's still reliability is still something that has not been discussed in literature, and that's why we have left this as blank. Solar water heater, uh, it requires daylight, most efficient in summer month, and it will be a very good for us. But if you are in summer, you may not we may not need water, hot water. So then uh, this thing only related to places where they have a summer and winter and half summer, half winter type thing. Then there is a biomass, wood chips and wood pellets. It sets high capital cost to install boiler is required, need to purchase or produce your own fuel. It requires servicing, moisture content will impact on boiler efficiency, was constantly provide these a constant fuel source. This is a reliability. Now, this is again the components part that we have discussed before. Now, as I've made, I'm trying to teach this subject in a manner that if I teach something, is there example in Pakistan? Is there example in your city that will it be used or it's just limited to the developed countries or it's just maybe of academic um, academic knowledge for us. So previously I've given an example of energy university and now for biogas. Uh, this is the news for you. Most of you must have heard. But Karachi will have the first ever transport system to use biomethane gas produced from animal waste as a fuel resources for a 213 bus fleet of red line bus rapid transit, and the use of biomethane will also significantly reduce the carbon levels in the city. Unfortunately, what happened last year is because of this project was a kickoff in early 2020. Um, the tenders are floated and people have been hired, but unfortunately, because of COVID system, the foreigners, have a less interest. So is with all this world, this could not be started. It, uh, it is again in the limelight, and people says maybe will if this COVID situation improves that we may have some ground work start on rapid bus red line bus rapid transit, and you will be interested or you will be interested to know that this will pass right in front of your university gate. But since most of you are in final year, so best of the luck. But those people after you may use those buses. Maybe not the current batches, maybe the future batches. So the BRT project have been renamed as Karachi Breeze Red Line Project, which is approximately 29-kilometer corridor extending from Model Colony in Malir in the northeast of the port city to Mazar-e-Qaid and Jinnah Avenue in its southwest, and will intersect at Numaish in the Green Line corridor that is currently has actually been completed. We are already we are waiting for the bus. The route of the red line will pass through 13 major intersections. Total of 24 bus stops will be located along it, where entry and exit point will be provided. 10 overhead and 7 underpasses have also been included in the BRT plan. The design has been finalized, vetted, and now it's up to actually the funds are also approved. So it's a matter of time. So what in this they have done, the project have its own biogas plant located in Lanti Cattle Colony, Bhas Colony. If one uh, knows the common name is that, where 2000 tons of cattle waste will be used to produce 60,000 meter cube per day of biogas. The biogas plant will deliver 11 tons per day of compressed biomethane gas to the bus fleet, increasing to 17 tons over the life of the PRT line as if the demands would increase with the passage of the time. There is Global Challenge Fund, and this is why they will be providing 37.3 millions for the biogas plant and incremental cost for fuel technology, in addition to the grant of 11.8 millions for lane strip payment of BRT, bios, wells, etc. This project is expected to prevent emission of 245,000 tons of carbon dioxide. Biomethane is the only option that results in positive net cash flow from Karachi BRT system, thus helping to avoid operational subsidies as in other parts of the countries. The expected cost of biogas is rupees 20 million, which 10.2 million will be arranged through a soft loan from Global Challenge Fund. It will this project will result in the total emission reductions of 127,000 tons of carbon dioxide per year, delivering much greater reduction in greenhouse gases than any other technology. Uh, so this ends my lecture. Before I end my lecture, I want to acknowledge the sources from which the contents of this lecture has been taken. There is a website. Just if you just click this thing, you will go to the website and you will find my presentation over there. Actually, I have taken that presentation. And then this is a news item from which I have taken um, the this biogas information on the BRT line. Uh, Thank you very much and hope this I have not bored you a lot with my lecturing situations. Allah Hafiz.